Early on, my wife and I were asked to work with Eric to launch the Life Group program. And we spent many, many happy hours in his office, going over what we were going to do, talking to God, seeing his heart, learning that he is a value-driven person, not a purpose-driven person, learning that living for Jesus is our whole life, our thought life, every day of the week, and that our influence counts in everything we do, not just plans and programs. We were bewildered by his gracious, patient, forgiving heart. He actually listened to what we had to say and waited after we talked to hear from the Lord for a response. That was great. He's always encouraging and never condemning. We realized he was giving us an opportunity for God's character building in our lives. Then we, along with some other couples and the Herstroms, spent several months together in their home, regularly delving into God's Word and our own hearts. We were trying to reproduce Christ in our hearts, thus making our witness much more powerful. Eric believes that the everyday influence of our life is what really counts. He is not content to just get by on a good Sunday morning performance. That means so much. He's real 24/7. When we began the pastor search team process, I felt that we were looking for Mr. Wonderful. And I fully expected to be wowed by our findings. And I was, but in a different way. As we looked at resumes and watched podcasts of pastors preaching across the nation, I was not as impressed as I thought I would be. They were good men, but just not for us. I realized that God had already given us Mr. Wonderful 8 years ago. God had allowed Eric to come in and grow and develop as he rose to each new level of service. He knows where we have been and where we ought to go, and he has a great advantage over anyone else. Many weeks ago, it became clear to me that Eric was God's choice for us. In fact, it was so early in the process that I prayed that it was not just my own laziness in not wanting to finish the process that we had started. So I was faithful to the process that we had established, and God was faithful to reinforce his leading as each step unfolded. I'm completely confident that God will lead us through the next and greatest decade of Lake Arlington Baptist Church with Eric Herstrom as our pastor.